Hi everybody, this is Dave Neufeld back again for the Best Buy Canada blog, and today I will be taking a look at the Nuraphone wireless over-ear headphones. And these are probably one of the most unique and interesting headphones that I've ever had the opportunity to review, because what they are going to do is create a unique hearing profile for you. So we'll take a look at the headset itself here, and what that means is the first time you put this headset on, it's going to prompt you in conjunction with the Nura app to create a test and actually measure your unique hearing. And it kind of sounds like if you've ever set up like a home theater, surround sound stereo system, something like that, where you kind of get a measurement of the space of the room. It's kind of going to do that, but inside your ears. And it's going to start bouncing kind of pings and beeps and boops off that sound like a Star Trek red alert or something like that. But what's actually doing is measuring the way that you hear sound. And in just a minute or so, when it's done, it's going to have created your unique hearing profile. So right off the bat, it'll let you test your profile by kind of comparing it back and forth with what it calls the neutral hearing profile. And you can kind of toggle it on and off. And I have to say that I was really impressed when I was listening to my personal profile. It sounds really good. It sounds much better than the neutral settings. And of course, you might say, well, it's easy enough just to kind of load up some really poor, just standard settings and then bolster them and say, hey, that sounds much better. So I did test this in a couple ways. In particular, I had my daughter create her unique hearing profile too. And sure enough, when we tested them out, we both agreed that not only was our own personal profile much better than the neutral profile, but we also listened to each other's profiles and found that we, again, much preferred our own personal unique hearing profile to the one created for the other person. So at the end of the day, I can definitely say that it seems to work really well, and when I do have my personal profile enabled, I think it's probably one of the best listening experiences I've had on a pair of over-ear headphones like this. So I'm pretty impressed with it. I think it sounds really good. Another mode that I really like is Immersion Mode, and this is another setting that you can toggle on and off, and really basically what it just does is it boosts the low end. So the higher you've adjusted the immersion slider, the more kind of bass sound that you'll get. But what it's trying to do, or what it's intended to do, is kind of to increase the sensation that you get when you're at a live concert or listening to live music. And then the higher the immersion mode may be, the more the impression you get that you're getting closer to the stage. And like I said, to an extent, that does kind of just seem to be like bolstering the low end, but it's still really, it kind of accomplishes what it's setting out to do, because as that low end sound gets louder and louder and bassier, it does feel more like a real concert experience. But whether it's doing that or whether it's just kind of doing it by increasing the low end, I still really like it, and I tend to keep it pretty high. I don't put it up to 100% because, as you can see, the earphones here, the ear cups are kind of this silicone material, and when you get over 80%, they really start to vibrate and maybe bounce around a bit, and for me, that could be a bit distracting or uncomfortable. But when I have it leveled at about 80%, that's, to me, the optimal sound for these headphones. Comfort-wise, they sit fairly comfortably and fairly well. The one thing that you do have to get used to, you'll notice, is that even though these are over-ear headphones, they actually have the kind of protruding nubs that you would normally see in in-ear headphones. And that's definitely something you're going to have to get used to if that's not your favorite kind of type of headphone. Like myself personally, I usually choose over-ear headphones because I like the feeling and the immersion of ear cups, and I'm not always a fan of having the earbuds actually in my ear. But part of the makeup of the Nuraphone headphones, I think, kind of necessitates that, because the in-ear component, I think, is really important for generating the personal hearing profile and the overall performance. So once again, it's just kind of a preference thing. they are an over-ear headphone, but keep in mind that you still kind of have the in-ear component to them as well. These are the buttons on the side here, these little knobs you can see that stick out that actually let you do certain controls like volume and that sort of thing. But they kind of stick out fairly far, and they're very easy to touch by accident. So I can't count the number of times where I was just going to adjust the headphone, and even my palm just lightly touching the touch button there would cause my sound to mute or whatever input I was striking at the time. So I found that a little frustrating. I wish they were a bit less sensitive, required a bit more of an actual deliberate tap to register. And the other downside is there's a very limited number of inputs to be had. So using the Nura app, you can actually map the button pushes to do whatever you want, which is really nice that you can customize them that way. But the downside is you're limited to only 4 inputs, and they go really fast. Like even volume up and volume down would be 2 inputs. So if you just want to be able to adjust your volume up and down, that's half of your inputs gone. On the other side, if you want to skip track and previous track, that's the other 2, and that doesn't even count whether you want to, there's other things that you might want to do, like mute or pause or enabling or disabling immersion mode, or noise canceling, enabling or disabling that. So there's far fewer inputs on the headset itself than there are actually inputs that you might want to perform with the headset. So that's another thing that I kind of just found that I wish I had a few more options to perform inputs on the headset itself, as opposed to having to rely on lifting up my phone and opening the app and adjusting things there as I needed to. You'll want to note, for if you're commuting or traveling with its headphones, that they don't collapse. This is as small as they get, so they don't fold into each other or anything like that to make them smaller. But Nura does offer this really nice hard case. Again, it's a bit on the larger side, but as long as that isn't an issue to you, it is a really nice hard case with the magnet lock and a little magnetized compartment inside as well, where you can stick your cables or anything like that. So just one option if you are looking for a nice case to carry your Nuraphone headphones around. But anyway, that's all I really have for you today. Like I said, I think this is a fantastic headset for the personalized sound aspect. I really enjoy using them to listen to music, and I'm definitely intrigued by this concept of creating your own unique personal listening profile. On the downside, though, I do have a few. I feel like a few improvements could be made over time, maybe with more inputs or less sensitive inputs. But those are, of course, in my opinion, secondary to sound. So, going purely from a listening standpoint, I think that these are excellent headphones that I look forward to using more in the future. But that's all I have for you today, so be sure to stay tuned to the Best Buy Canada blog for all the latest in technology. Until next time.